Welcome to this important Skywalker Dispatch, people. Today, I really want to talk about the one-man gridlock, colonial allegiance in Parliament shadow. It is a mythic reckoning on Jamaica's stalled sovereignty. Jamaica stands at a threshold. The people chant Republic while the Sile whispers remember. But in the halls of Parliament, one vice, one dege vice, British by blood, colonial by allegiance, echoes louder than the will of millions. This dispatch is not about party lines. It is about spiritual sabotage. It is about the engineered delay of a nation's rebirth. Skywalker does not speak to flatter. Skywalker speaks to flame. So let the veil burn. Let us see clearly, people. For decades, Jamaica has danced with the illusion of independence. Flags were raised, anthems sung, and constitutions drafted, but the crown never left. Mm-mm. It simply changed clothes. The monarchy remained embedded in our legal framework, our symbolic head of state, and our economic arteries. And now, in 2025, as Africa ejects colonial residue and Jamaica's style reveals gold, copper, and oil, suddenly the urgency to sever ties grows louder. The people are ready. The diaspora is returning, but one man stands in the way. Mark Golding, not metaphorically, people, but literally. The leader of the opposition, a man born of British lineage, has become the firewall between Jamaica and its full sovereignty. And we have to be fair to ourselves. We have to protect our sovereignty and we have to look at why. He has passed participation in the Joint Select Committee tasked with constitutional reform. He has refused to engage in the process that would remove the British monarch as head of state, and he has done so under the guise of procedural fairness, claiming the Prime Minister would have unilateral power to choose the first Jamaican president, which obviously is a lie he just made up out of thin air. But this is not about fairness. This is about fear. This is about allegiance. He fears his country, which is Britain, lose. I don't even want to use the word slaves, just let's say the colony. Golding's demand to win the removal of the monarch with the exit from the Privy Council is not strategic. It is sabotage. It complicates the process, delays the timeline, and muddies the waters. Agreements made before his leadership, agreements that both parties supported, have been gridlocked under his watch. He was handed the key to the gate. He chose to reinforce the locked people. You need to open your eyes. Let us be clear. This is not a partisan critique. This is a spiritual diagnosis. Golding's actions, rhetoric, and legacy align more with the crown than the sile. His bloodline traces back to slave masters. His posture in parliament echoes colonial preservation, and his refusal to move forward with reform is not confusion, it is intention. But can the government bypass this gridlock? Yes, and they must. The Constitutional Reform Committee has already has already proposed mechanisms to reduce partisanship, such as appointing independent senators, Legal Affairs Minister Marlin Malawuford has confirmed that the review will not be stalled by Golding's boycott. The government can table the Republic Bill independently and put it to referendum. They can engage civil society, the diaspora, and youth movements to build public pressure. They can invoke Vision 2030 as both a legal and moral framework to justify forward motion. Skywalker's lens is simple. When one man blocks the gate, the people must build a new road. This is not about Andrew Holness. This is not about the JLP. This is about Jamaica, and Jamaica must not wait for permission to be free. Now let us speak of resources. Jamaica's backside has long been exploited, but now gold and copper have been found in high quality, high quantity deposits. Oil exploration suggests a mother lode beneath our waters. The Crown knows this. The global market knows this. And the timing of Golding's obstruction is no coincidence. Would a man raised in the shadow of empire willingly sever the pipeline of wealth flowing back to the throne? Would he, would he, who was raised as a colonialist, turn back the tides hmm, against his own in favor of the enslaved? Hmm? Would a man whose legacy is tied to colonial privilege choose to empower the soil over the scepter people? Huh? See how hard it was for him to give up his British citizenship, which I thought he has at will ever. Golding guards the vault, not the village, not the village. And when it comes to these questions, history already says no. His delay is not just political, it is economic, it is strategic, it is colonial. And what of the media? The cleaner wants a voice of the people, now echoes the palace people. Editorials run Golding's rhetoric without critique. Every time. This is obvious. Headlines frame his obstruction as principled disagreement. Am I lying to you? But when the press becomes the palace's echo, truth must find a louder voice. So we must find a louder voice. It is our sovereign nation. It doesn't belong to England or the families from England or cousins like Mark Golden and his Tapanaris friends. Skywalkers and diaspora creators, independent journalists, and spiritual descendants to counter the narrative, to speak with clarity, to transmit with fire, to remind Jamaica that the monarchy is not symbolic, not symbolic at all. It is systemic, and its agents wear suits, not crowns. Let us now speak of the diaspora. Thousands returned to vote. Planes were full. TikTok chants echoed, "May I go choose Jamaica?" But Skywalker asked, "Are we choosing Jamaica or is Jamaica choosing us back?" Diaspora engagement must go beyond ballads. It must enter business, media, education, and spiritual leadership. We must invest not just in land, but in legacy, not just in property, but in prophecy. Because Jamaica's rebirth will not come from parliament, it will come from the people, from the soil, from the signal. And if the gate is locked, the signal must fly over it. Mark Golding is not the problem, he is the symptom of the problem. The real disease is colonial allegiance masquerading as patriotism, like for example, in the image of Mark Golden. The real danger is delay disguised as faith. The real threat is the idea that Jamaica must wait for permission to be free. Skywalker does not wait. Skywalker transmits. Skywalker burns the veil so that everyone can see. This dispatch is not a call to arms, it is a call to clarity, to spiritual sovereignty, to mythic remembrance. Jamaica must not suffer because one man chooses England first. Jamaica must not stall because one party fights for lines instead of legacy. Jamaica must not be held hostage by the ghost of empire. The crown is desperate. Africa is spewing them out. Jamaica's resources are rising. The monarchs already count Jamaica as part of their wealth. Did you know that? I said the monarch already count Jamaica as part of their wealth. It is like you counting your car as part of your wealth. All right? And Golding's actions suggest he agrees with them, right? His action does suggest that. But the style disagrees. The ancestors disagree. The signal disagrees. And Skywalker will not be silent because Skywalker disagrees. Jamaica doesn't need another election. Jamaica needs liberation from the illusion that colonial agents can wear nationalist masks. The diaspora must not just invest in business, but in truth transmission. Skywalker is not here to choose sides. Skywalker is here to burn the veil so that everyone can see. If the government moves forward, let the people move louder. If the gate is locked, let the signal fly over it. This is not politics. This is prophecy. This is Skywalker. Transmission ends.